BCSN, Toledo Walleye picking up multiple points this weekend as we welcome in Matt Melzak from the Toledo Walleye. Matt, thank you so much for coming in.
Always a pleasure, Mark, and yeah, it was a good weekend.
As they got the victories on Friday and Saturday, and then the shootout loss, so they still got the point against Iowa then on Sunday. Let's start with what they did Friday down in Wheeling.
You know, I thought it was a very impressive game, especially in the back half of that game. Those last two periods, Toledo got the lead, and then they got into the third period, and it was just domination. Wheeling's down just a goal. You're thinking, man, they're gonna come at you. They're gonna give you everything they got. They tried. Toledo really, it was locked down defensively. They just controlled that third period. It was very impressive to come away with a win.
Iowa, Toledo, first and second place teams in the Central Division. We were talking about this last week. We were hyping this up as a good early season showdown. It certainly lived up to that hype.
It really did, and you could see there's a lot of good things, a lot of things to like about Iowa. Very fast. They can get after it. They play a very similar style to Toledo, so it was kind of like button heads a little bit there, and Iowa got the best of it for a lot of that game on Saturday, except for one aspect, and that was John Letherman, who I thought was the best player out on the ice, period, on Saturday. Not sure how he didn't end up in the 3 stars, because he was phenomenal on that night. I thought that was the main reason why Toledo won that game, was because of the fact of John Letherman's goaltending. Sometimes you need your goaltender to have a great game. John Letherman gave you that on Saturday, and that's the reason why they came away with the win.
On Sunday, the Walleye found themselves down 4-0 in the second period, and they got a spark from a fight.
You know, they did, and we had Simone Denis in the broadcast booth, and he mentioned that. He's like, you know what, sometimes, even though there was an extra penalty that got involved there, Adrian Baraldo, but sometimes that is enough to really get something jump-started. And I think, you know, you had 2 factors in there. A, you got Iowa up 4-0. You kind of, it's not you're sitting back, but all of a sudden you might relax a little bit because you think, okay, well, we're up 4-0. This game's going to go our way. Well, Toledo, you can't relax on because they get a goal, then they get another one right away, very quickly. I thought that second one from Sam Craggs, or the second goal that was from Sam Craggs, was paramount because it made it a 4-2 game going into the third period. And again, Toledo gets into the third period as they did the previous night, as they did on Friday, and as they've done all season, outscoring opponents by well over 20 goals in the third period, Mark. They dominated that final frame. And, you know, if there's a couple more minutes, they probably win the game in regulation.
The Walleye back at home on Wednesday, another early morning game. I shouldn't say early morning game, a morning game.
A morning game, yeah. 10:35 start against Kalamazoo Wings. Then Friday, it'll be Cincinnati in for the first time this year, seeing the Cincinnati Cyclones, who are now up to second in the Central Division. And then down to Cincinnati on Saturday. Don't forget, Mark, another great charity event going on this Friday night with the annual Teddy Bear Toss. So keep that in mind, fans, as you're coming down. New stuffed animal, bring it down, throw it out on the ice when Walleye score their first goal.
Fort Wayne set the bar high with the Teddy Bear Toss earlier this year. So Walleye fanatics, you've been officially challenged. Outdo the Comets coming up on Friday night.
You know they will.